Hey there. So, I wanted to share with you this incredible knowledge I've gained about managing Windows Server IaaS virtual machines remotely on Microsoft Azure. Trust me, once you get a hang of it, it's like having the world's best IT team at your fingertips. First off, to start, you need access to Azure, so a subscription is your ticket on this virtual adventure. Once you've accounted for that, you'll be greeted by a dashboard where you can create virtual machines. Picture a VM as a fully-fledged computer right inside the cloud, where you can run all sorts of applications and stuff. The beauty of using IaaS is you don't have to worry about hardware, as Azure provides amazing virtual machines for us to work with. Now imagine needing to configure one of these digital powerhouses to handle sensitive data. Azure makes that possible with something called Azure Bastion, which seamlessly hides the Bastion host in Azure's backend. It lets you manage your VM through secure, remote desktop protocol connections, so you can deploy servers, configure settings, and even manage data center templates right from your browser. It's truly fantastic. Let's dive a bit into networking. Azure's cloud offers two virtual walled gardens, virtual networks for isolating and securing each VM, with subzones for traffic management, and VPN connections for secure tunneling to your own network when needed. And for communication, Azure provides Azure ExpressRoute, not to be confused with Express Mail, but a service to connect to your on-premises network via a private connection and Azure's backbone, bypassing the public internet. It's like having a super speedy direct train to your server instead of riding the public subway. Now, enter Azure Monitor, your new best friend for monitoring and logging activities. The dashboard is like a crime scene investigator's ultimate toolkit, with detailed logs, metrics, and events all available at our fingertips. You can set alarms, create custom logs, and even visualize performance data, all the information you need. This is where I love Azure for its built-in analytics and AI capabilities for finding bottlenecks, performance issues, or identifying security threats. Let's not forget about Azure Automation, where managing a bunch of VMs remotely becomes effortless. You can script and run almost all actions, like startup and shutdown of your VMs, just like they were handheld drones. Automation helps maintain consistency across deployments, run repetitive or time-consuming tasks faster, and saves the planet on power usage by shutting down idle machines. Next up, I've got a little nugget on Azure policy to talk about. Here you can enforce management requirements, configure permissions, or set up compliance rules across multiple VMs to ensure that they're always running within the standards of your organization. It's a breeze because policies can be deployed centrally and applied across the organization. Moving on, there's always a time when things go haywire, and that's when Azure Service Health is a lifesaver. From health scores to regional status summaries, Azure Service Health keeps you informed about potential issues or service interruptions, helping you mitigate risks before they affect business operations and allowing you to plan for downtime accordingly. And when disaster strikes, Azure Site Recovery comes to the rescue. Azure allows you to set up an automated disaster recovery process, where you can replicate VMs, failover to geographically separated sites, and quickly resume operations after an outage. This means uptime becomes a given. As we cover different management layers, it's essential to talk about backup and storage options. Azure Backup for VMs ensures that your VM data is safe and that recovery is prompt. Plus, Azure Files or Azure Blob Storage provide managed cloud storage services for your VM contents, maintaining data integrity and accessibility. For data management, Azure Data Factory becomes the orchestrator for processing and managing data transfer workflows, integrating with various sources and targets while offering automation and compliance. When it comes to virtualization, Azure managed disks are like the Swiss Army knife, providing durability and storage performance for VMs, with various options like premium_LRS cache mode, SSD-backed Azure disk storage, and so on to suit different needs and budget considerations. And let's touch upon networking and app delivery. Azure Traffic Manager is like the maestro, ensuring your app experiences smooth traffic flow, with a flexible setup tailored with different weights for specific endpoints, while Azure Application Gateway offers load balancing and security as a package. Now, to manage user access, Azure Active Directory Identity Governance is where you set rules, manage roles, and grant access to your Azure resources. Couple that with Azure Managed Identity for zero-click authentication, and you've got a streamlined experience where resources can access each other. In terms of scaling, Azure provides options ranging from Azure Scale Sets for multi-role group scaling with auto-scaling policies to Azure Rapid Create, which allows on-demand VM creation without pre-provisioning. Plus, the use of Azure's consumption-based billing model makes spiking costs predictable and easy to budget. To ensure best practices, Azure compliance with GDPR, HIPAA, SOC 2, and others, the Microsoft Purview for Compliance and Governance and Policy Center for standardizing and customizing settings across your Azure environment. I could go on, but the best way to internalize all of this is to dive in. Practice deploying, configuring, and managing VMs using the Azure portal like a boss. And remember to visit Neeraj's site at qzzo.io to subscribe to Tech Lab for more insights like this and to stay ahead on the digital curve. Catch you on the secure side of the virtual fence. Visit neeraj.qzz.io and subscribe to Tech Lab.